Gonna catch another ship, yeah. And it's like a lotus, so it's time to flip the script, yeah. Cruising through the bay on the fucking rail, battleship sold up, screaming out. So Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard?
Welcome to Buck What You Heard. My name is not Gene, and Gene is currently in the middle of a wing fest right now. Um, Currently joining us is Ruth the Truth, representing our Dallas Cowboys nation. I apologize, Ruth, and all Cowboys nation for everything Gene is about to do in like 10 seconds. But while we're here, feel free to check out Smack Apparel. Don't do what Gene's doing with Smack Apparel. You want to be able to make sure you treat your shirts well, and don't use different teams' cowboy or different team shirts as a bib for your wings.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
What's up, Gene?
One day away, baby. One day away. Can you believe this?
Hey, Google.
Uh-oh. She's got
Sorry, I left
Wait,
my
what's your
Google blasting music, so I had to make sure I simmered that down. But I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on. Our NFL season is officially kicking off tomorrow with the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of great things are going to be happening tomorrow. I'm going to a charity event, the Huddle for Tackle of Hunger charity event here in Tampa. So there's a lot of NFL events all together going on in the Tampa area. So get yourself involved in the community, and yeah, let's have some fun.
I need to get with you after the show and see how Buck What You Heard, we are looking for something to get behind, and I would love to get behind a charitable event like that. You could tell a lot about a person by how they treat people less fortunate than themselves. And football, and I always say this, is a microcosm of the world. We all eventually come together. We all love the sport, and that's what it's about. And being able to help people that aren't able to do it on their own, I think it's important to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, this organization was put together by the NFL to help the families that were affected during the COVID-19 pandemic when nobody was working, and a lot of families were left without any options when it came to feeding their children. So this charity event is definitely tackling those type of issues in our community. And yeah, it's just great to see that the NFL community really gives back to the fan base that, gives them the money to do what they do. So it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right there, is just being able to do stuff like that. So let's talk about this game. This is the game, kickoff of the NFL season. For you getting to watch the Dallas Cowboys in the preseason, I know it's a lot of evaluation, but did you see any indicators as to how this team is looking and where they are, as far as getting started?
Yeah, preseason, you never really could see much because obviously it's a lot of the rookies are trying to earn a roster spot for the team. So I just saw defensively that nothing changed, unfortunately. But like I said, I don't want to take the judgment from preseason because obviously the starters aren't playing. There's a lot of missing pieces. And we don't really get to see what the changes that Dan Quinn has done on the defensive side of the ball. So I think tomorrow is going to be a clear indicator whether or not they even made any type of difference. And when you're going against such a powerhouse offense like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got to bring your A game. So the news of Zach Martin not being able to play tomorrow because of COVID, because of testing positive for COVID is very unfortunate because Dak's going to need all the protection he can get. Shaquille Barrett, I know, is going to be ruthless, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. I'm sitting in a great section. I'm in 135, like row B or something, like pretty close, right behind the visitors bench. So I'm just excited to go to the game.
Yeah, for me, I guess what I'm looking for, with Tampa and KB, I'm gonna get to you in just a minute. Execution, and let's try to make sure that the injuries are limited. This is just right out the gates, and I think it's important for this team to come out fast. And let's hope that they can limit the injuries. I mean, looking at the injury report for the Buccaneers, according to Bruce Arians, everybody's ready to roll with the exception of Jordan Whitehead. Is that correct? Am I right on that?
Yes, everyone is good to go besides Jordan, who is dealing with a quad injury that's been a problem since the start of training camp.
Yeah.
So yeah, he made it clear in the press conference after practice yesterday that nobody else is going to be off that field. Everyone's going to be geared up and ready to go. And yeah, Jordan Whitehead's going to be the only missing piece. But luckily for the Bucs, there's death on deaths on death with this team. So Mike Edwards and Ross Cockrell will be a great plug-in for the missing Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah, absolutely. And KB, I want to bring you in here when you talk about Edwards, because I think you may know a little bit about that, and him having that position, and what are your thoughts on Jordan Whitehead being out?
I mean, I'm the head honcho of the Mike Edwards fan club. I've been defending our boy for years, Jordan Whitehead, but Mike Edwards offers a different skill set. I think what the Cowboys want to do, I think this is, at least, I mean, I'm not saying it's good that Jordan Whitehead's injured. I think this is a great game for Edwards to show what he has. And,
Right.
If Jordan Whitehead comes back healthy, then he might play his way into a starting role. I think this is where Mike Edwards has to make his dough and then be able to make that spot. And then Antoine Winfrey Jr., I'd look out for him to play closer to the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. I think, like when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, and I think the way their offense is set up is predicated on the run. And so Tampa has to really get in there and stop Zeke Elliott and keep him, kind of limit the damage that he can do. Ruth, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, as far as keys to victory for the Dallas Cowboys.
That was the first thing Bruce Arians alluded to during the press conference yesterday when it came to when he was asked, how do we stop Dallas's offense? He said, I'm worried about stopping Zeke. Once we could stop Zeke, once we could slow down the run game, then we can get control of the game from there. So he was very, very, prompting that they make sure that they limit the run. So I don't see them having a problem with that. Obviously, Zeke had a fall off season last year, so he's got a chip on his shoulder going into this season, but it's not looking so great. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So we're going to have to see if he's going to have a comeback season, because last year was just an embarrassment.
Well, and that kind of gets back to coaching. And I want to get your thoughts on Mike McCarthy. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, I know they're missing some pieces, just to be really competitive. Do you think a lot of this starts at the coaching position?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. You got to go straight to the top. So Mike McCarthy has a lot to blame with how things went down last season. I mean, a lot of the excuses were injuries, him not having his starters, him not having a starting quarterback. So we're giving him a little bit of an excuse. But now that Dak is healthy, now that we got somewhat of an offensive line, let's see what kind of magic you can. Because I always thought Mike McCarthy was more of a offensive-minded coach. I mean, coming from Green Bay and working with Aaron Rodgers, that's just how he rolls. So I think Dak Prescott is a great plug-in for that quarterback position for him. And I mean, I think he could get something really going with the Dallas Cowboys, and he could be a long-term head coach there.
So for you, when you look at the division, do you feel like Dallas is a contender in that division that you guys are in?
I feel like Dallas is going to win the NFC East. I mean, I think the Washington football team, yes, has a great defense, has a great run game, but I'm not sold on that quarterback position, which is the most important. When it comes to the Giants, I'm a little bit worried about their run game and how the Dallas Cowboys could not stop the run to save their lives last year. So that's a little something that's going to be on my mind. But when it comes to the biggest threats, I would say the Giants with a Saquon Barkley that's going to be returning healthy. That's something that we got to look out for. But I know one team I'm not too worried about is the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that they have a lot internally going on, that they're going to just be battling themselves this football season. So I'm not really counting them as a threat this year, which is a relief because I hate the Birds.
So when you look at Jalen Hurts, you're like, oh, okay, this guy, he still has some growing to do. He's not that guy, basically.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to say that just yet. I don't want to say he's not that guy. I mean, obviously there was a lot going on with the front office, with Doug Peterson, with their Carson Wentz drama. There was just a lot going on, and I've heard quarterbacks talk about this before. When you have that, like for the Andy Dalton and Justin Fields situation, and I mean Andy Dalton's watching over his back, which plays into how efficient they are on the field. So that's never a good situation. Obviously, Philadelphia doesn't really. I know they're going with Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback, and I think that he could excel. I mean, the Eagles made some great off-season moves on defense, which is something that they really needed to focus on. So, I mean, we'll have to see. But I like Jalen Hurts. I liked him in Alabama. He went to Oklahoma afterwards, right? He was after that. Yeah. So I liked him in college. And I mean, he had some glimpses of, a good quarterback last year, but this year is really going to have to make or break his career.
Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of that plays into the psyche of a quarterback, and you're 100% correct. We can look at Cam Newton and Mac Jones in New England. I think New England didn't have a choice but to move on from Cam Newton. And I guess there's a lot of things that are coming out after the fact. But if Mac Jones is your guy, you can't have Cam Newton on the bench, possibly this guy coming in and you're looking over your shoulder, as you mentioned. So that you're 100% correct on that. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Hey, Michael Bless, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, everyone?
All right,
Michael.
Hello.
So
welcome.
we're just talking about the game. We were talking about the NFC East, and Ruth was kind of going down the list of teams. So and we'll get back to the Bucs here in just a minute, because I know this is Buck What You Heard, but I do want to get your valued opinion on the NFC East. How do you look at that division? Do you see, what is it, Dallas, New York, then Washington, then Philly, or how do you see that shaking out?
Are we talking to me or are we talking to Michael?
Oh, I'm talking to you.
Oh, me? Like I said, I want Dallas to come out of the NFC East. I think they have a lot to prove, and they have the offensive power to make it happen. But yeah, I like how you mentioned it. Dallas going first, the Giants coming second, Washington third, and Philadelphia dead last. I like Joe Judge. And obviously Jason Garrett is in New York as well. So I have like a little bit of, I'll give him a little bit, So we'll see if they can come into that wild card spot for the NFC East.
Do you think Garrett was the problem in Dallas?
It's so hard to say who was the problem, but yes, he wasn't helping. That's for sure. He wasn't helping.
Well, I don't know. I guess as long as Jerry Jones has any input on a team, I have a problem believing that Dallas can actually succeed with Jerry Jones, because of, he's got his hands in the pot a little bit too much. But as an outsider looking in, that's kind of what I've seen from him. I remember going back to Bill Parcells, and there were opportunities for Dallas to get back to where they were, and it never happened. So
yeah,
the one common denominator with the demise of the Dallas Cowboys over the past couple of decades is Jerry Jones, in my opinion.
I like how Bud Cannabis in the comments said Cowboys, Washington, Giants, Eagles. I like that. That's a good list.
So if you
Cowboys on top.
So are you kind of writing off Washington as a potential spoiler for your division?
A potential spoiler, yes, because I mean they have a great defense, like I said before, and Antonio Gibson is a great running back in Washington, and I just don't believe in the Fitz magic. I think the magic's gonna fizzle by midseason. So I don't know. We saw what's his name, Taylor or Tyler? No, I think it's Taylor. Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him put up a great performance in the playoffs last year. So who knows? He might take over that position.
He played the best quarterback against the Bucs the entire playoff run.
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
So real quick, because I know you have to go. I wanted to get your thoughts again. Congratulations on being able to go to the camps. Are you fully credentialed yet?
So I've applied for all games this season, and they've let me know that they had a very tight window for the Dallas Cowboys game, but it was okay because I had tickets anyways to go to the game. So I don't know. I think I almost rather go as a fan, kind of not really, but I'm not fully credentialed. I'm still in that lower tier, but I'm starting to, build relationships, having them be familiarized with who I am, with my face, with what I do. And it's going to take a while, but I'm going to climb the ranks. But I'm for sure going to have credentialed for at least a few home games this season, and maybe the New Orleans game. I applied for a credential for the Mercedes-Benz Dome because I've never been in that stadium, and it would just be great to be in the press box during that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Is anybody going to be in New Orleans for that game? No one's
Kenny bowed
traveling.
himself out. I thought
Yeah.
about it, but I'm not.
I was going to, but with the hurricane so close to what happened, I don't know what the situation is going to be like there. I'm not sure how much they will have recovered by that time, so I just kind of wrote it off.
Sure.
Also, if we're going to play capitalism, if you want to spend a couple grand for those tickets, there's no guarantee you're going to get that grand back for a while now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent my money on Vegas, so
There you go.
yeah, I'm going to Vegas this weekend.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Where are you staying?
This is the resident expert right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the Trump Hotel actually.
Interesting. The only hotel that does not have a casino. I think that's
Yeah.
very odd. Very, very odd. No, I'm a huge Las Vegas fan. I go as often as I can. I've probably been like 6 times in the past 2 years. But
Okay.
it's a great place. Lots of sports events go on in Vegas, like right off the strip at the T-Mobile Arena. They have the Thomas and Mack Center where they have the NBA Summer League going on. So yeah, Vegas is evolving into a sports town as well. I mean, they have the Raiders and I can't even remember
the Las Vegas Knights. Is that what they are?
Yeah, the Las Vegas Knights, and then they also have the Las Vegas Aces, so they have a WNBA team. So I'm thinking that they're probably going to get an NBA team in Las Vegas pretty shortly.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I believe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But have you guys been around that stadium at all? Just from the outside, it looks like $9 billion. Like I can't even imagine what the indoors look like.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it this weekend, obviously. So.
Yeah, well, when you fly in to the airport, you're definitely gonna fly right by it, so you're gonna get a great view, and it's not far from the strip at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so Roomba.
It's not fair that the Raiders get these amazing colors. It's just
the
black
big
and
Roomba,
gray. They're just perfect, man.
So give me your top 5 picks. The NFL games. I'm not gonna, because I know you got to go, but Buffalo versus Pittsburgh. Who you got?
Buffalo. What? Crazy?
Yeah, all right. Here's a hard one right here. Carolina or the Jets?
Carolina. I want Sam Darnold to put it to Carolina. Put it to the Jets. Completely crush them.
All right. Indianapolis versus Seattle.
Is Carson playing?
Yes.
Carson's playing week 1?
Or at least they marked him healthy. Practice full today, so I'm assuming he's playing.
Okay, so damn, that's tough. I want to say Seattle. I think it's going to take an adjustment for Carson Wentz in the new system, even though he's reunited with Frank Wright. But he was with injury for a little bit, so maybe it's going to be a little rust that he's got to shake off. So I have Seattle. I think Russell Wilson might make an impact for MVP for the league this year.
I actually have Indy in an upset special.
I like it. Either way, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I took the Colts as well.
Right, there we go. Okay, last one, and this is a big time game, I guess. Because I didn't realize how much Miami and New England hate each other, but Miami and New England.
New England.
I got Miami. I like their defense.
Yeah.
I think Miami comes in. I think they confuse the offense and they're able to shut down the run. I see Miami beating New England.
I can respect that for sure.
That game's in New England.
That's the only reason why I'm leaning probably New England there. It's just
I took the Patriots.
Yeah, see, it's Mac Jones. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to play too well, but I think people are forgetting that the Patriots lost a lot of players on that defense, which is why I'm even scared for that Bucks game. Because if Gilmore, or actually, if Gilmore is not playing, I forgot in that game
Right.
because he's on the IR. But if Gilmore were to, let's say, play, I mean, they're one of the few teams who can match up the Bucks and the Cowboys, like in terms of just being able to play man on man, double team certain players, like change your entire scheme.
Yeah.
All right.
And Tua's
So-
not ready for that game.
Right. Is
So-
Tua gonna improve from last year?
He should.
You know,
He has to. I mean, it's hard
Yeah,
to do
he has
worse.
to.
yeah.
I
He should
wonder
be fine.
does that play on your psyche? I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but when the rumors floating around about Watson possibly coming to Miami, I know they're rumors, but still, I mean, that sits in the back. It's got to sit in the back of your head. You've been put in, and they bench Fitzmagic for Tua. I didn't agree with that. Again, I'm not a coach. I'm not a GM. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I wasn't good with that. I felt like you should have let Fitzmagic play through the season and just bring Tua out as, just have a coming out party the next season.
Right.
That way he gets up with the speed of the game. He gets familiar with the offense, and, just they're ready to roll just right out the gate. So, again, I think he got a little nicked up last year. I don't know how much that affects you mentally when you're going out there to play. And, again, I hope he can, limit mistakes and go out there and just have a good game or have a consistent season.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the Miami Dolphins are in a great position right now with their defense, with their coaching staff. Everything seems to be in place for them. I mean, they even got a great kicker. So I think that this is going to be Tua's year to step up to the plate, or they might move on and make a trade for someone like Watson, whenever he figures out his situation,
Or
whenever
if,
that may happen.
if he does. If he does. So
If he does, we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ruth, thank you so much. Again, I know we had time constraints. I appreciate you taking the time to get on. What you got going on tonight?
I'm finishing up an article that I started this morning on a Dallas Bucs preview piece. I'm like 1,000 words in, so I'm trying to minimize it a little bit. But being a fan of both teams, I'm kind of just I have so much to say, and I just keep regurgitating on the keyboard. But I'm gonna finish edits, and then I'm gonna put the article up probably late tonight or early in the morning. So please look out for that, and please share my material.
Absolutely.
I have not published an article since December of 2019, so it's been a little while. Yeah, way overdue. So it's because I was experimenting a lot with the podcasting and making videos and things like that, creating video content, that I kind of neglected the writing portion for a little bit. But it's time to get back to the basics and get good at writing again. So look out for that article that I'll be dropping either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll probably direct send you the link so you guys can check it out.
Thank you so much. And I'll make sure to share that out. If you're not following Ruth the Truth, make sure you catch her on Twitter. She does go live on Instagram. Be sure you check that out. I love your football IQ. I mean, you just continue to get stronger year in and year out. And
only getting better. And I will never claim to be an expert, because obviously we're all here because we like to say our opinion and what goes on in sports that, we care about. These are our teams.
This is a safe zone right here.
Right. But I've never claimed to be an expert. So, and I love being critiqued. So if you guys ever have any pointers, anything you guys want to tell me I could do better on, or even if I say, something wrong, I'm okay with being corrected, because it's a growing experience, and we're all here for one another.
That's right. And I'm the same way. I make mistakes all the time. Bud Cannibalist was asking you about Hard Knocks. What did you think of Hard Knocks?
It was good. I haven't seen the last episode yet. But I mean, definitely got me excited for the season. They had a couple episodes that were kind of a little bit boring at times, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad that they chose the Dallas Cowboys for Hard Knocks. I think there was just so much controversy around the Cowboys that it was great to put that on TV. So I really enjoyed it.
All right. Yeah,
just I guess the Cowboys, Rob.
Well, hey,
I would have to disown half my family. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Yes, I am trying to grow my following on social media so you guys can stay plugged into all the content. Ruth the Truth with 3 H's at the end on Twitter. I will give you a follow back. On Instagram, it's Sports Truth with Babe Ruth. I'm going to be, as Gene said, I'm going to be doing a lot more live, live pre-post game takes and things like that. So yeah, just stay locked in and make sure to subscribe to Bucs Report YouTube page, because we're trying to push that to gain more subscribers, because you guys are all doing a great job and people just need to see it.
So when is the podcast? When is that coming out?
Ask Christina. Ask Christina, because this girl is being so picky about everything. Like she's just a perfectionist, so I understand it.
Yeah.
But we were supposed to debut last week, and then we were supposed to debut this week, and then it's been a whole bunch of setbacks because she wants everything to be perfect. So hopefully by next week, hopefully.
All right. We will definitely be looking forward to that. Need more female in sports, and I appreciate what you're doing for sports period. And that's great. That's very commendable. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gene. You guys enjoy the rest of your show and have a great night.
All right.
You too.
That was Ruth the Truth. Be sure to check her out, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or wherever she's at. Just look for her. She'll be there. See her. But I want to get back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's exciting. The defending world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Michael Pless, what are your thoughts? Just hearing from Bruce Arians that everybody's a go with the exception of Jordan Whitehead. What are your keys to victory?
Keys to victory: win up front. That's pretty much it. Protect Tom Brady, and get after Dak Prescott. I think those are the 2 big keys. I think where it's going to come down to. I think obviously we're going to find a way to stop the run, and then on the other side, offensively, we're going to try to run the football, which I think we could be able to do, because defensively inside they're not very strong. I think that's their weak point. So just a good balance of running and play action. Make sure Tom has time to throw the football, and I think it should be good for us.
KB.
No, yeah, I agree with everything Plus is saying. I mean, this is an exciting time to be a Bucs fan, and I think everything other than the possibility of Dak being hurt, everything's gone in the Bucs' favor. Zach Martin's out. Defensive line should feast. It's just this. I just can't wait. I mean, it's like a kid, on New Year's Eve, or excuse me, on Christmas Eve. Like, Santa's coming to town, baby. His name's Tom Brady.
I want to put this question out there. How well does Dak Prescott read defenses? I mean, is this something where Todd Bowles could confuse him? There are ways that Todd Bowles can confuse him and kind of really put the Bucs at an advantage, or is this something where the Bucs are going to pin their ears back and do what they do and try to put pressure on the quarterback?
I think it's all about pressure. I think it's going to be a lot of zone, and it's just like, hey, blitz Devin White on 3rd down. Let the Cowboys make it 3rd and manageable, and then go head hunting. Or, sorry, I'm not trying to be Sean Payton here. Go sack hunting.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be a good back and forth, I think, early on. But as the game goes on, the Bucs are going to start to take over. I feel, and really, it's going to come down to Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh pushing that pocket, because that's where it starts. You want to make Dak move around a little bit, get him off his spot, and see if he can anticipate and read defenses. I'm sure Todd Bowles is going to mix up his coverages, whether it's man-to-man or zone or whatever he wants to play. There's going to be a lot of things, going back and forth.
Yeah, I thought Ruth had left us. I apologize, Ruth. I will not do this anymore. I won't do this anymore.
Plus, you have no idea this pre-show talk we just had, where he randomly, Gene just sent me a tweet or a DM at like 3:00. Is like, oh, by the way, you're insuring the podcast, and I'm cleaning off wing sauce with a Cowboy shirt for this podcast. I thought he was kidding. Then I hop on, and he has wings ready to go.
Oh man.
Yeah, it is what it is. I genuinely do hate that team since way back. But
no, it's awesome.
No,
so I mean, this is going to be a great game. I'm just going to start with that. I'm really excited to just see these 2 teams go at it. But I feel like the Bucs definitely have the advantage on both sides. Obviously, I feel our defense is the stronger unit, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game.
So I know Buck Skull Gang in the house had a question about Joe Tryon. Will we see a lot of Joe Tryon in this game? Just based on how he played in the preseason, or is it just going to depend on the flow of the game, how much we see him?
I think it's flow. I think it has to be flow. I mean, we've already seen this team wants to play JPP and Shaq like too many snaps. So, I mean, I hope Tryon gets on the field. I hope they do at least maybe not throw a whole bunch of packages out there with JPP inside and Tryon on the outside, but flash it a little bit. Show a couple plays, see how it works. If it works well, then don't break it.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that you're looking that you have any concerns about other than special teams? I think we discussed special teams last week, but outside of that, anything that you're looking at that could the Bucs really need to show what they can do, or any position?
I mean, the main concern is just like how is Dallas gonna, come out offensively with their game plan? Are they gonna really try to force feed Zeke and get Dak comfortable early? Try to find a way to get the ball out of his hands quickly. 3-step drops, etc. Run screens and stuff like that. So it'll just be interesting to see how Todd Bowles counteracts that with his play calls and coverages, etc. And how successful can we be taking Zeke out of the game early? I think that's going to be a huge point, because if Dallas can get play action going, then it can be really troubling.
Yeah, and I guess another thing that we really haven't talked about is the wide receiver room for the Dallas Cowboys. How much of a concern is that wide receiver room? I mean, with Amari Cooper, CD Lamb,
and Michael Gallup.
And Michael Gallup, there's your other guy.
Yeah.
So
it is concerning. I mean, they're really talented. Amari Cooper's a route specialist. Like, he can get open in space. I mean, they all provide different things. CD Lamb can, provide after the catch stuff. Gallup is, down the field threat. So I think Todd is going to rotate our corners, and you'll see different guys on different receivers. So it'll be interesting to see who follows who. If they do, let them follow guys. But like Ken said, I think mostly we're going to try to play some zone coverage early and get pressure, with our blitzes and zone blitzes, stunts, etc.
Well, that's great. I mean, and you got to consider too that we haven't even talked about the linebacker room. We haven't talked about the we talked about the D line, we talked about the secondary, but the linebackers that the Bucs have are really going to really help that kind of solidify the defense more or less, with those guys playing out there consistently with Levante David and Devin White. So again, it's going to be up to Dak to get the ball out quickly. He's going to have to be concise with what he does. And if the Bucs are stopping the run, I mean, you kind of limit, what Dallas is capable of doing. This won't be 2016, I promise you.
Yep. So I agree. Ken?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Oh, okay.
You disconnected with us, man. What's
going on?
Yeah.
There's a storm going on where I'm at, so.
Oh, okay.
Have we offended you in some way?
No, can you guys just not hear me?
Well, guys, I do want to switch gears a little bit. Because with everybody, I have a pick'em league that I'm in that I got invited to last minute, and so the Bucs game is off the table. We're not talking about the Bucs game. KB, NFL Jesus, we're not talking about the Bucs game.
I swear to God, if any of you saw Gene's pick, I will.
I'm the victim of circumstances here.
It's okay. I'm just teasing. At least you apologized to NFL.
Yeah, I apologize to you and NFL Jesus, man. We're good. We are golden and we're ready to roll. So I want to get your opinion here. Buffalo versus Pittsburgh.
Buffalo.
And I'll start with you, Plus.
Buffalo. Yeah.
And the next one, Carolina versus the Jets.
Panthers.
Panthers, excuse me.
Yeah. Houston versus Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Part of me wants to play Houston to play a little surprise. Who's it at?
It's in
It's not
Houston.
Jacksonville, right?
I'll give me Houston. Give me Houston. Win one game and that's it.
Okay, because I've got Houston right now. Titans versus Arizona. I got Tennessee in a blowout.
Titans.
Washington versus the Chargers.
Chargers.
Washington.
I've got the Chargers.
It's magic week one, baby. It's more so the defense.
You know
You get
what?
to a
That
young
makes
quarterback
sense,
with
too.
pressure.
That makes sense too. For the week one fits magic. All right. Atlanta versus Philadelphia. This was tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll go Falcons.
And you know what? I ended up picking Philly only because I hate the Falcons as much as I do Dallas. So I could be wrong.
I'm going to go Philly. I don't think the Falcons defense is ready to stop. They don't have Keanu Neal anymore. Like they have Deion Jones. That's it.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Grady Jarrett. Like
It's a good point.
So when you looked at Atlanta, and again, this is all evaluation. We can't really put a whole lot of stock in preseason, but were there any players that just like stuck out to you that you felt like, man, they could contribute and help this defense? I'm strictly talking defense here. We know you kind of know what you have on the offensive side of the ball, but just on defense, it's just so many unknowns, and it just gives it's like, well, who do you have? Who do they have? Who sticks out? And I was just kind of wondering, because the Bucs do play Atlanta next week, and that's going to be a very interesting game to see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like single people out on their defense. Like besides Deion Jones and Grady Jarrett, like Ken said, I mean, it's tough, a very tough unit on that side of the ball. There's just not a lot. There's no pass rushers. Like, where are they going to get it? Where are they going to affect the quarterback? I don't see it. I mean,
they almost have to manufacture a pass rush.
They're going to have to blitz a lot, and that's going to leave their secondary on an island, which is trouble. And so they're kind of in a, I don't know, just a big hole.
Even worse than that, remember the Bucs have 10 days before they play the Falcons week 2.
Yeah,
that makes they have to win week 1. You can't start off 0-2, 0-3. You just can't do that. And I think they're a better team than people I think give them credit for. But if you start out 0-2, 0-3, it's not pretty.
Yeah. Offensively, they have something to talk about. Obviously, you have Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. So
I'm so waiting to see this guy play. Against the ones, just to see what he can do.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the real deal.
Indianapolis versus Seattle. Who you got?
Colts.
I have the Colts too.
Where's it at?
Indianapolis.
Fuck it, give me Seattle.
Nice.
Well, because I realize I can't pick the home team every single time, and I think Russ, DK, Tyler, week 1.
You can only pick the home team on a Thursday night.
Oh, if you don't pick the home team 90% of Thursday night football games, you're doing the wrong research.
That's absolutely. Cincinnati versus Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I've got Minnesota too, just because Dalvin Cook will be healthy.
Yeah, give me those fantasy points.
Yeah. No, it has to be. Joe Burrow isn't ready.
Yeah, and in that defensive line in Cincinnati, that's a very big unknown for me. So I'm good with Minnesota. All right, Detroit at San Francisco. Niners walking away.
Niners, yep.
Yeah, Niners.
Cleveland versus Kansas City. This is the matchup right here.
Yeah,
let the fireworks begin.
I got KC.
Really? I got Cleveland.
It's in KC, so that's why I'm going Chiefs.
I can't buy the Baker Mayfield train.
With Odell Beckham Jr. healthy, I wonder how much of a distraction that is for Cleveland. I'm just hoping that it's not that big of a deal. But I think Cleveland having everybody healthy, I think Cleveland wins this. And then New England versus Miami.
Patriots.
I've got Miami. All right. The Giants versus Denver. And I went ahead and took Denver.
Yep. Broncos.
I don't know what Saquon Barkley. I haven't really heard a lot out of that camp. I know he's 100% healthy, but here's a guy he's had trouble staying on the field the last couple of seasons. I don't know, with all the rust, I don't know what you have with him. I mean, think about this. Le'Veon Bell is on a practice squad. If 3 years ago, no lie, if 3 years ago you told me in 3 years Le'Veon Bell will be on a practice squad, I'd have laughed at you.
Tom Brady's in Tampa, baby. Anything's possible.
Exactly.
If you told me, imagine putting that on Twitter 3 years ago, and imagine the laughing stock you would be.
Yeah.
The Patriots fans would have destroyed you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I get it. I mean, 10 years ago, I talked about the salary cap being a myth, and like, they still don't believe
Mickey Loomis back then.
Yeah, they still don't believe me. So,
bro, I'm right there with you, man.
I was talking about Thanos, and like they were like, "Get out of here, man! You don't know what you're talking about."
Snap the finger right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bud Cannibalist, the Bucs defense is hangry. Oh, yeah, people been taking shots at the Bucs defense. I think they have a lot to prove this year.
I love Carlton Davis.
Bro, he is. He's fearless. The man is fearless.
Yep.
And so I'm good with that. You got a bunch of dogs on that defense, so definitely something to look forward to. New Orleans versus the Green Bay Packers.
Packers
walking away.
Okay, would we say New Orleans if this was at home and not in Jacksonville? I'm just curious because I'm going to take Green Bay as well, but I think in a dome this game's more interesting.
No, I'd still take Green Bay.
Yeah, I like Green Bay
personally. It's just not. I don't know. Just I have to see what the New Orleans Saints have. Just considering all the salary cap issues they've had. Ladarius Webb, is no longer with us, and just a lot of different things going on, So who did they pick up? They picked up an ex-Falcon. Was it on
Trufant?
Desmond Trufant is a New Orleans Saint. I mean, 3 years ago, who would have believed that one?
I don't know how did the Houston. Did they come out what they gave up for him?
I don't know if that trade's been finalized or not.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't be more than a fifth, right?
Yeah, I doubt it.
I mean, good for the Saints there. Take advantage.
Bud Cannibalist was talking about Lattimore facing charges. I don't know if
why have they not announced the suspension, Gene? They've announced every other suspension.
Because basically Roger Goodell versus the New Orleans Saints
got paid.
The battle that's been raging for years, and I don't know.
Someone paid him off.
True, but like it's just. You can't. To me, you can't suspend him week 3. Right. Like you suspend him week 1.
I agree.
Somehow, wrong way Rodgers going to find a way to stick it to the New Orleans Saints.
He's going to.
Much as I hate him,
he's going to announce the suspension Saturday.
That would be awesome if you ask me. Or Friday night, just hide it in the weekend news.
And I'm telling you, man,
the mail's late.
The dog ate my homework. He's gonna find a way to dig that knife right up in there, in between the third and fourth rib. He's gonna try to stick it to the New Orleans Saints. Trust me, there is this underlying battle that they've been having, and Goodell ain't gonna lose. So I don't know. I don't care. I hate Roger Goodell and I hate New Orleans. So I hope it's a draw. Really don't care. All right. And the LA Rams versus the Chicago Bears. Rams.
Yeah. You will see Justin Fields though in this game.
Whoa!
So I'm going to ask this question.
Benched week 1.
Yeah. I'm going to ask this question. Do you believe that by game 5, Justin Fields is your starting quarterback in Chicago?
I'm saying by next week he's your starter.
When's their bye?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let's take a look at this here. So you're saying next week? I've got 3 weeks.
Yeah, you could be right. I just feel he'll play in this game though. You're going to see him.
Yeah, this is my thing. Andy Dalton is who he is. And he's showing you who he is. He is who he is. We saw that last year in Dallas. This is who this guy is. you got a kid out here that, that people passed on. He's going to make a lot of people wish they had picked him up.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, he's one of those guys. I feel like that he will make a lot of teams, Atlanta, and
Denver.
among others that wish they had. I understand what Atlanta did. You grab the best player on the board, a once in a generation tight end, but
Yeah.
at the quarterback position, being able to get the ball to whoever it is, like you say, plus these players like tight end or wide receivers are you're going to run into them, and if you're a good general manager, you could build a team around a quarterback. It's not hard. I mean, it is hard for some people, obviously, but realistically, I mean, if you're a good talent evaluator, you should be able to build a team around a quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I look at Denver. I think Denver could have. I mean, you put Justin Fields on Denver, they could compete. This year
right away.
Imagine
day one.
drafting a cornerback over Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Pat,
Denver has a decent
and what
offensive
you
line
have
too.
to
It's been a
consider
good situation.
yeah,
And you got to consider too that division, the Raiders. The Raiders are doing what the Raiders do. The Chargers, and look at the quarterback situation with the Chargers. And the Raiders, the Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you've got Teddy Bridgewater, who's steady Teddy. He's not a guy that's going to move the needle a lot. He's not going to put you in harm's way, but he's not going to move the needle, if that makes sense.
no, it does.
So to me, I understand why they did what they did, but if you have an opportunity to get a quarterback like that, I'd have kicked down the door to make that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great for Chicago, and again, he's a guy they're going to build around. They just got to get that offensive line healthy and get it more stabilized. Yeah, coach too.
Yeah,
but yeah, I expect him to get in the game this week against the Rams.
Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind, guys, we've all seen it. We've seen what happens when you don't have a good quarterback and you don't have a good coach. We've seen what happens when you have a decent quarterback and you don't have a good coach. We've just seen all these different scenarios, and you need to make all this stuff work. I mean, as Bucs fans, we've seen it all, from from Jeff Garcia to Josh Freeman to Jameis Winston to Tom Brady. Here we are with Tom Brady. And then we've seen all these different coaches that really 9 times out of 10 had no business being professional coaches. But here we are. I mean, just, gross mismanagement. But at the end of the day, we can sit back. It's easy to sit back and look at another team and say, okay, how is this going to work out? Because it's the coach. The coach is weighing down the quarterback, or quarterback's weighing down the coach, or something's happening where they're not in balance and working together. So I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion there. All right. Last game, last but not least, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Baltimore Ravens. With Le'Veon Bell in the practice squad.
Ravens. Not
I got
Raiders. Ravens.
I just Mayock and Gruden is not my kind of match. I don't know. I'm not buying into that yet. So for me, it would be I've got Baltimore personally. I think Lamar Jackson shreds that defense. It's ironic, and how true is this? You guys tell me if this is true or not. Is it true that the Raiders tried to approach the Chicago Bears about getting Khalil Mack back? Is there any truth to that, or was I just hearing that on Twitter and there's nothing to it?
I mean, I hope it's not true, but probably it's most likely true, because I could see
Gruden. That is Gruden right there.
I could see John Gruden doing that. So yeah, I love the guy as an X's and O's, but man, he's just can't got to stay his nose out of the roster building.
Yeah, 100%. Leave that to the experts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're going to do one more thing before we roll out of here. I have something called Contenders Pretenders, and I've kind of listed some teams on here, and these are teams that we know are going to potentially go to the playoffs, but can they get you to the Super Bowl? And so I'm gonna rattle off some names, and plus I'm going to start with you. Contender Pretender, Buffalo Bills.
Contender.
And is that based on their overall team. I mean, me personally, when I look at the Bills, they have balance on both sides of the ball. Even their secondary, or I'm sorry, their special teams is really in a good position to be successful as well.
Mhm.
So, I look at Buffalo as well. KB, who you got? What do you?
Buffalo.
So you're saying contender or pretender?
Contender, sorry.
All right, Cleveland Browns. Now this is a good one because we kind of alluded to this.
Yeah.
And KB, I'm going to start with you.
Pretender. I know it's because I love their roster. Everyone making them be a Super Bowl pick, which is why I'm calling them a pretender. I think we're looking at like a 5-6 seed here. I don't think they win their division.
So, I have to ask you this because I think their defense is going to carry them this year. If they're healthy,
Oh, it has to be.
If they're healthy, I don't. All Baker Mayfield has to do is Trent Dilfer it and just stay out of the way and don't trip over his own feet. And I think that Cleveland makes it to the playoffs and they're a higher seed than what people are giving them credit for.
Yeah, I would say they're a contender. I really like their running game. Their offensive line is solid. Defensively, they're very strong. I think Myles Garrett has a great chance to be, defense player of the year, possibly. So I like their team. Now it's just, can they get the consistency from Odell Beckham Jr., Baker Mayfield, etc. But yeah, the run game is very strong. I love the running backs.
And here's a hot take, guys. I think Odell Beckham Jr. gets traded before the deadline. Hot take.
That'd be funny.
I think if Cleveland loses the game that they should win, and he's disruptive, I think they move on from him. They've shown last year that the Browns can win and be successful without Odell Beckham Jr. being there. And maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, just that's my hot take. I have to have a hot take here.
I have a hotter take. No one wants Odell.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I can't argue with that. What was the I know you're on Twitter. We're all on Twitter. What was the meme about Odell Beckham Jr.? Isn't this the anniversary of that one-handed catch?
Gene, do you know what year that was?
Yeah, it just escapes me because it was one play and it made his career, and that's kind of what he's living on. It's like Al Bundy and his 2 touchdowns at Pro High in a football game. It's
Answer my question, Gene. When was that catch? What year?
2014.
2014. That's how long. That's 7 years ago, Gene, when that catch occurred.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and
that was his rookie year, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And that's what put him on the map. And
that's right. He was same class as Evans. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how drastic the difference those 2 careers are. I mean, Mike Evans is beyond, whatever Odell can pull off. It's just, that's awesome.
And just considering Mike Evans and what he means to a team, and I mean, just the locker room and the community.
And all the quarterbacks that he's had to play with too. So
yeah, Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel needs to get the chainsaw out and cut that Heisman in half, give half of it to Mike Evans. Because that's basically the end all be all right there. But all joking aside, I do believe that you will see Odell Beckham Jr. I think there will be talk of him being traded. I just don't see how he's a contributor unless there are injuries when you look at that wide receiver room. But anyway, next up, the Washington football team, contender or pretender?
Contender.
I'm right there with you. I got contender.
Can I take the middle ground there?
Yeah, please, by all means.
I'm going to go push. I think that they're going to be like a 6-7 seed. I think they're going to squeak by. And if Fitzmagic, we know we can't trust him over 16 or now 17, but over like 4-game stretch any day.
I'm gonna say this: if the Washington football team's defense does what I think they're going to do, if they're successful, and I think you have an offense that could stay out of the way, I think they will win games that they shouldn't win. So, again, it's just one of those. I love their front defensive line is incredible. I love those guys. I love how they've drafted. Riverboat Ron I've always had a soft spot in my heart for that guy. And I think this team is in a good position right now. I love their running game. Again, it's just a matter of the offense not being a liability.
I agree.
So, all right. The Philadelphia Eagles, contender or pretender?
Pretender.
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 There we go. We're all in agreement. We're all in accord. I like that. The LA Rams,
Contender.
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 Me likey.
I still don't think that defense is going to be at its level, though.
I don't think they'll be at the level they were last year either. I think getting a pass rush with the Rams pass rush is going to be important, especially for the secondary. I love Jalen Ramsey. He's a talent, but you know what? We've seen it in the past when you don't have a good pass rush, and Donald can't do it all on his own. If you don't have a good pass rush, you're going to have problems. There's going to be issues. So
they got Leonard Floyd. They'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So there we go. You heard it right here. Leonard Floyd, they're
Leonard, the other Leonard.
fine. All right. The Miami Dolphins, contender or pretender?
This team is like my beard, so I'm gonna say contender. Because my beard's a contender, so
I cannot argue that. Your beard is a contender. All right, so we can all agree. I like Miami. I know we still aren't 100% sure what you have with Tua, but I think that Tua right now is in a good position to really be successful. He doesn't have to do a lot. I mean, as long as the defense is playing at the level that they're playing, I really believe that Miami is in a good place, and there's no overwhelming favorites in the AFC East. So I like Miami to possibly be a contender for the division title. All right. So next up is the Dallas Cowboys, because I wanted to present that to Ruth, but hopefully she's not listening. She might be listening, but she is. I'm being respectful now. I'm done with the shirt and everything, but
I'll say contender. They have the best quarterback in that division, and usually when you have that, you have a great chance of winning said division. So
there you go. And to me, that their division is the most wide open of any of them, to be honest. I mean, what was if we go back?
All you need is 7 wins, and you could win that division. I mean,
that's what I was getting ready to allude to. Is wasn't that what the winning record was? 7 wins last year.
I believe so. Either that or 6-10, one of the two.
Unbelievable. It's just crazy how that could all work itself out. So again, that division is wide open. Saquon Barkley, just imagine a healthy Saquon Barkley along with Danny Dimes, who got his names because of playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no other reason. But other than that, I don't know what you have, or if there's a front runner for that AFC East. So it's going to be a fun football season, just because the Buccaneers, the NFC South in general, they get to face this division, and we'll see how this all kind of works its way out. And next up is the Seattle Seahawks, contender or pretender? KB.
Who was it?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Pretender.
Yeah.
Their best edge rusher is Jamal Adams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, their only edge rusher. Can anyone name their edge rushers? I really can't without looking.
Carlos Dunlap, maybe.
Is he still there?
I don't know. I lost track. So
Hold on one second before we go any further. I have to
definitely pretender though.
Yeah.
Poor Russell Wilson. I still think he's a great quarterback, but he can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, and the Legion of Boom is gone. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? I mean, realistically.
I mean, they'll probably still. I think they'll probably still win maybe 9 games. Yeah, just because Russell's so damn good. But it's gonna be a struggle.
Okay, so they've got Amadi. Amadi is still on the team.
No idea who that is.
We'll go Amadi.
That's a Nickelback. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't recognize any. Oh, there you go. Carlos Dunlap.
But like, yeah, when was the last time Carlos Dunlap's been relevant?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
2012.
Rasheem Green, Kerry Hyde Jr.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, Gene. There's just there's just not much there.
Yep, maybe they should change DK Metcalf's jersey number and put him on defense.
He'd probably be a very good defender.
That dude is swole.
Yeah.
I think he could. I think he could. So
Yeah.
All right. So so we're all in agreement. They are pretenders. Now, last but not least, say the best for last. The New England Patriots. Contender or pretender? And again, this is another division.
Yeah.
I think the Bills will win this division.
Oh, hands down.
And I just don't see anybody really approaching what the Bills can do if they play mistake-free football and they stay injury-free. Yeah. I don't see anybody really affecting them.
And again, it's the same as the NFC East. The Bills have the best quarterback in the division, so
right?
They're going to win the division. And Patriots, I think, are pretenders. So I mean, they'll be better than they were last year, but they're going to come up short. I think Miami is going to be that second team in that division.
Not trying to be combative, but didn't you both pick the Washington football team to be contenders?
Right.
When I see the Washington football team, I think of the Patriots. I mean, it's just a different quarterback, but really everything else on paper is pretty similar.
True.
Especially defensively. I think both those teams are going to go by their defense. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I say pretenders, I think both teams are 8-9-win teams.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I think my views are slanted because I still don't like Bill Belichick. And I think that may have slanted my views on all this. And I know that he went out of his way to put together a squad to get back to the playoffs and possibly get to the Super Bowl just to prove what he can do. I know his ego is hugely involved with a lot of the moves they've made. Again, I could be wrong. You know, if that here's another team, if their defense comes in and plays lights out, all the offense has to do is just stay out of the way. I mean, losing Sony Michel, how big of a loss was Sony Michel leaving New England?
No, nothing. Wasn't a loss at all. They got Ramondre Stevenson, who's going to be much better. Damian Harris.
Yeah, he's definitely an upgrade. Absolutely.
And the little guy they have, JJ Taylor, he's a beast too. So
yeah,
they're loaded there.
Shout out to JJ Taylor in Tampa. Love you guys. Love the beer. Used to work there.
It's awesome.
But anyway, that was a long time ago. That was, actually working at JJ Taylor was kind of cool though, because on Fridays they would give you, for $5, you can buy get cases of beer. So I mean, my living room was just like stacked with beer all the time when I would get off of work and stuff. Shout out to JJ Taylor. Salute to you guys. You guys are the real MVPs. But anyway, so plus, what do you have coming up? What's the next big article you have? Are you just kind of holding out until after the game? And I'm really thinking, guys, about going live and actually watching a game and just being live. I've done that once or twice last year, and it's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. People stop in, check it out if you want to. Thinking about doing it this year. So
okay.
You're welcome to stop in, jump in real quick, jump out or whatever. But I think I'm going to do that, because that's just how much I dislike Dallas. And I want to be live, just to watch that game because it just means that much to me.
Right. Yeah. For Real Bucs Talk, we don't really have anything at the moment. Again, a lot of our content is going to come probably later next week because I'm going to be out of town on vacation after tomorrow's game. So I'm really looking forward to being at the stadium tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. Being back home, and man, it's been, I want to say 2 years now. So being back in Ray J is going to be a lot of fun. And then, on a flight the next day to Vegas. So I probably won't sleep, but it'll be definitely worth it.
Bro, it would be fun if I could actually talk to you while you're there, man. That would be kind of cool too while I'm live. I don't know if you can do that or not. We'll work it out. We'll figure something out, man. Because I would like to get your thoughts, live at the game.
I'll let you talk to Mark because he'll be probably already having a few brews already, so he'll be loving to talk to you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So, again, KB, I'm going to start with you, man. What are you looking forward to for this game? And with this game coming up here, what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
10+ point victory. I think I can't, it's not that I don't think Dallas is talented offensively and they can't score. I think they do, and I think they will move the ball just fine. I think there's just going to be some issues getting it for sevens, and I think Dak's just, even if he can push the ball down the field, is that the thing you should be doing right now if you're Dallas? I mean, if I'm Dallas, I want to get out of this game alive. And the more you expose Dak, the more, it could turn your season into turmoil. So I just think the Bucs are just going to come out guns a-blazing. But actually, they're probably going to start off slow, go 2-3 and outs. We know how that story goes. Be down 6-0 to start. Next thing you know, it's 21-6. I think this is going to be a huge Devin White game. Devin White, I think he's going to get a couple sacks. I don't think our front four is going to do anything spectacular, but again, once those blitz packages start revving up, once Cowboys get 14-6, 7-6 during that time, I think Bulls is going to flip that switch. And then we saw last year they're going to flip that switch. So I want to see how this defense flies around, and I want to see if this offense can be smooth like they were in that Houston game. I mean, once they went no huddle, Plus did a great breakdown of it on Real Bucs Talk. Check them out on YouTube. But I mean, is that going to be the norm? Are we going to be a no huddle team? I just want to see if our offense is going to be smooth and our defense is going to have pressure, whether that be front four or blitzing. That's what I'm looking out for.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, plus.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to just a great atmosphere. Obviously, being in Raymond James, packed house, and there's going to be Cowboy fans, Bucs fans. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think these are two really great offenses that we're going to be able to see. Now the question is how good is Dak and company going to be? Because he hasn't played for so long.
Yeah.
So I expect the Bucs to take advantage of that, some of that rust that might be there, and get him off balance, get him off his game. And obviously we're going to have some pressure, bringing up the middle with the injuries they have, or the missing players that they have up front. I think that's going to be big dividends. And then offensively, I feel like we're going to try to run the football, get Rojo established, play action a lot, max protect, and let that ball fly. There's going to be a lot of wide ass open people, as I like to say. So it should be
wide ass open.
It should be a lot of fun, and it'll be interesting to see how much we go to Antonio Brown, because I feel like he'll have the matchups.
Yeah, he's going to be a offensive nightmare. For me, I'm still bullish on Rojo. I know that's been the argument in the offseason, Rojo or Leonard Fournette. I like them both. Regardless of who you like at running back, you're going to get to see your guy. At the end of the day, you will see your guy. Between games 1 and game 17, your guy is going to get touches. So don't fret. It's going to happen. I think for me, I'm bullish on Rojo. OJ Howard is somebody I'm really looking forward to them getting him into the offense, him getting his football legs, kind of like what we saw with Gronk. Once Gronk got his football legs, we saw a whole lot more out of him. Same with Antonio Brown. I think that's kind of what you'll see with the OJ Howard. On the defensive side of the ball, my expectations are that Levante David will get a turnover. He will cause a turnover, at least one.
Amen.
At least one.
He needs it on the national stage too. He needs it.
And
if he doesn't get Pro Bowl at least this year, we're not even talking all pros. If he doesn't get a Pro Bowl, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. And it's long overdue. Again, the Super Bowl, he's got a Super Bowl ring. He has to be in that conversation. Statistically, we look at what he's done consistently with bad teams, with good teams. He's consistently been good. Nothing's changed for him, regardless of who his supporting cast was. He's just been that guy. So Levante David, I expect Levante David to pop. I expect that they will mention his name. I wish there was a way I could mute my TV and just hear Gene Deckerhoff throughout that whole game. I'm going to try to figure out a way to make that happen if it can happen. But for me, those are the big things for me. Special teams, play in your assignments, take care of your business, and let's limit the mistakes and limit the penalties. Penalties are going to be something that I'm going to be a stickler for coming out of the gates, because that's been something that has affected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers throughout the past 5-6 years. I mean, specifically. And I feel like from what this team has done from the NFC Championship game on, penalties should not be an issue. But again, when you've had that time off, getting back in the swing of things, it's going to be beneficial for Tampa to come out fast. And I think penalties are going to play a huge part.
Yep. And I'll just say, special teams, don't be that cold sore.
Exactly. So we've got the cold sore and we've got the wide ass open. I love this, man. I mean, you can never have enough analogies with Real Bucs Talk in the house.
Yep.
Are you all fans of That 70s Show?
Yeah. I watch it.
Call me Red Foreman and call Bradley Pinion Eric Foreman. If he doesn't kick it out of the end zone, my foot's going up his you-know-what.
Yeah.
And guys, I do want to shout out the game changers. If you don't have a chain, you need to get you a chain.
Wait, where did you get a turnover chain, G? You never told me about this.
Baby. And this is
awesome.
Hey, every time the Bucs get a turnover, I'm breaking out the turnover chain.
That's awesome.
That's sexy. Next time you go to a game, you better wear that fucking thing.
I'm wearing it to every game I go to, baby.
Yeah,
Zach,
awesome.
My guy Zach, thank you so much. Game changers. If you notice the logos, bottom right hand corner, left hand corner, whatever.
You always see me. I'm always like this.
Yeah, I don't know how the Brady's got it all together where the Brady bunch where they got it all right. So anyway, but for me, I'm excited. Season's here, defending champions. That's right, 1 and 2 Super Bowl trophies right here. It's better. It's 8. It's way better than winning the NFC South. Trust me. Trust and believe. I'm here to tell you that is a fact. So guys, I'm going to start with you, KB. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, and we're going to roll up out of here.
Bucs_Barrett. Y'all know where to find me. We'll be live tweeting tomorrow, and it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see this team not squander during the regular season on prime time.
There you go. It's a new age here in Tampa. Michael Pless, how can everybody get a hold of you?
Yeah, real easy. Just follow me at Real Bucs Talk, whether it's social media or go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the notifications link. And a lot of great content. Also, be sure to check us out on Patreon. We're actually going to start doing some stuff on Patreon. So be sure to hit us up there. We're going to put
side breakdowns.
We're going to put some exclusive stuff out there on Patreon. So
we need to come up with some exclusive stuff, man.
Dude, we have our 2030 mock draft coming out in 2 weeks.
You know what
tuned.
we do? 2030 mock draft on Patreon, baby.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be a fun time. Everyone enjoyed the game. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, baby. We're finally here. I cannot believe it. Shout out to Bucs Report. I want to shout out to Smack Apparel, Game Changers. Thank you so much. Love you guys. I appreciate you. We're getting ready for a game. And you notice we didn't do any predictions here, but we don't do predictions on this show.
Okay, The Rock. That was actually a pretty good impression you had there.
There you go, man.
That was good.
It don't matter what your name is.
That was good. I actually just started watching his show Ballers. Actually,
yeah, that show is really good, man.
Never seen it, so.
You know what? And speaking of shows, and I know we got a few minutes here. I just started watching Ray Donovan. I'm in about the 3rd season of Ray Donovan.
Okay,
dude.
Who's the main
if you have not watched Ray Donovan, you need to watch Ray Donovan. I don't know who the psychopaths are that wrote this stuff, but that show is amazing.
Yeah, I hear that show is really good. I haven't watched that one either. Billions is another one that's really good. So
absolutely. So again, we're giving out TV advice for you guys too. You can get it all right here. Be sure to check my man out on Patreon. Check him out on YouTube. Check him out on Bucs Report. He's everywhere. He's like Converses. They're just everywhere. This is this guy right here. Same way. And Buck, what you heard, Safe Zone, come in here. I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on Twitter. You follow me, I will follow you back. And I love talking football, and that's what we are. I get into wrestling. I don't know if you guys are.
Oh,
if I'm
can you at least plug that? I heard you're starting some wrestling podcast.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work out. We're going to see how that all progresses. We're still in the planning stages here, but I just found a newfound
it's
love
a
for wrestling.
podcast talk.
That's right. I found a new love for wrestling, so I'm just kind of getting back into it. AEW, Impact, NWA.
Okay, so is
Ring of Honor.
AEW part of WWE, or is
Hell
it?
no, it's like 10 times better.
It's separate.
Yeah.
I lost track after. Oh man!
So
right after Kane like revealed his face was the last time I probably watched WWE.
So AEW is like the Bucs.
That's what Pat McAfee did, right?
Yeah. So AEW is like the Bucs, and WWE is like
the Cowboys.
They're the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, I would say Cowboys because they get all the publicity and all the love. They're America's wrestling form of entertainment.
That's right. And remember, guys, be sure to check us out Wednesdays and Fridays, especially Wednesdays. We love the show here. We love doing.
And I'm here on Wednesdays.
And
so is Plus. Plus has basically been here every Wednesday for the past 3 months.
Is a permanent fixture now. Yeah. He's stuck with us. And guys, please come and check us out.
Or else would you rather be on a Wednesday night?
Hey, and keep in mind too, I did want to let everybody know Smack Apparel is rolling out some Buck What You Heard t-shirts. Smack Apparel, be sure to check them out. I will be giving those shirts away out to people to listeners. Hit me up if you're following me on Twitter. Hit me up or here on YouTube. Just whatever. Just let me know. We got you. And hey, plus enjoy Las Vegas. Enjoy the big Roomba. Take some pictures of it.
Yeah.
And
hopefully I don't come back with a missing tooth and a face tattoo. So
that would be no bueno.
Yeah.
I'll come back with a pet tiger. Who knows?
Right.
This is gonna be entertaining. You got to take video. Be sure
or married to,
Now, do you have to sign like a non-disclosure agreement when as soon as you land in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I probably need one.
You probably have to put your phone in a basket or something. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's right. Because if it's not on video, it didn't happen.
That is true. That is true.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you so much for checking us out. Shout out to Bucs Report. We appreciate you guys. The most unprofessional show on Bucs Report. We out.
We're the AEW.